Welcome back, guys, to the Pinnacle 4, sponsored by Namecheap. If you want a cheap domain, why don't you get to namecheap.com? That'll be pretty good, offer pretty good deals. And yeah, going back to the tournament over here, our next game is going to be between Purpledrank and Frid. Of course, Frid is one of the players who the only player actually brought Paladin, right? Nobody
Exactly,
else
yeah.
did that. So there has to be some Paladin fans out there that are rooting for Frid to win. But yeah, Purple won the last game, so he's looking to win this one and win the next one and then win the next one again. Very long journey ahead from him to reach to the top here.
The
And
losers
looking at the
bracket.
matches here, who's better here? Who's in a better spot?
Who is in a better spot? Rogue seems like it's going to do very well against Frid's lineup. Not really sure how the aggro paladin lines up against Rogue, because of course its aggression is really good against Rogue's potential early game, but then Rogue has many things that could shut it down, like Fan of Knives, Backstab, Blade Flurry, all that sort of things. The real concern here is the Warrior from Purpledrank, and if it's able to get a win against any of these three decks, that's going to be, I think, one of the hardships for Purpledrank, as well as the Freeze Mage does not look like it lines up very well. Aggro Paladin can it deal enough damage to the Freeze Mage before the Freeze Mage can get to the point where it just freezes the board every turn and stalls down the game enough? I don't know, maybe. And if it's able to, then good for him. He's able to get the win out there. But yeah, they just don't have very many decks of Frids that he beats. Like, he's really got to corner this Mech Mage, I guess.
All right. Well, I think not a lot of people are actually familiar with the Paladin list, like the aggro Paladin list. What's the closest comparison to the Paladin list that Frid is coming to? Is it like similar to Zoo?
It's like Divine Favor Paladin, like the old Divine Favor Paladin pre-GVG. Some people ran it sometimes. It hasn't seen too much competitive play at all. It's not really that similar to Zoo, as its curve's a lot lower, so it can benefit from the Divine Favor with more one-drops and such.
Wow, keeping the whole hand here.
The whole hand from Frid. This is not looking good for Purpledrank. Purpledrank does not have a very good hand to deal with this. And if he loses this matchup and gets this Mech Mage gets out of the conquest for Frid, then Purpledrank's going to be severely down in the matchup or in the series. Like,
Right.
it's not going to be looking good for him because his other decks don't line up that well against the other decks from Frid, and he really needs to sort of bully this Mech Mage. So
Right.
he can't lose this game.
Well, Mech Warp opening before the Snow Trigger because I guess
Yeah.
next turn you have the Inertron and the Snow Trigger as like the double 2 drops. Just gotta dodge a backstab here, and
Yeah.
Purple does not have one. So back to Frid.
Yeah, backstab was the only thing that could kill that, so it's really aggressive by Frid, but it's going to pay off for him. He's able to play an Oiotron and Snow Chugga this turn now.
Wow. Now how do you get past that? Your freeze
Yellow.
is gonna get frozen forever.
Deadly Flurry gets past it quite efficiently.
Yeah, actually it does. It just clears the board as well. You just take 1 damage.
Yeah, exactly.
The pickup is quite huge.
And Frid's not slowing down, though. He's still going to have the Spider Tank to follow this up.
Wave 1 completed, Wave 2 incoming.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like we're playing
Doesn't
Warcraft
stop.
3 all again. What was that? Was that a game called Castle Siege or something?
Castle Siege. The custom map?
Yeah, the custom map. Do you play
Yeah.
custom?
I only play custom maps in Warcraft 3, but
Yeah.
yeah, Castle Siege is one of them. Yeah.
Yep, out goes that.
Well, just Sap and Dagger. Not a terrible turn, but not a great turn. Like, it's just sort of mediocre. Frid doesn't really have anything other than just replaying the Spider Tank again. You don't want to get a value Blast Mage.
No.
And Purpledrank has a solid clear here with just oiling up and killing it. Or he gets the Drake, which contests it better than just killing it. So the Drake pickup very solid there.
So back to Frid here. Do you just YOLO Blast Mage? I mean, 4 damage, and the Drake is at 4 health.
That is pretty YOLO. I mean, just getting 1 on it allows you to trade with it, and you don't really want the Rogue to have spell power up because things like Fan of Knives, Blade Flurry, all those sort of cards just get way more powerful. So maybe you do just Blast Mage and kill it.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see. Oh, you can go to safe play. What's a safe play? No, there's no safe play, huh? And are you trying to mirror? That seems pretty weak. Nope, he's going for it. Is he gonna do it?
Gonna probably just trade for the Drake.
No. Well, exactly 1 though. That's No
Fortunate
wasted
for him.
damage
Yeah.
over there. Yeah.
Ooh, prep is a huge draw for Purpledrank. It's gonna allow him to activate the sprints later. He could potentially prep sprint this turn, and he has 1 sap and 2 eviscerates he could hit. So 3 outs and how many cards? Like 18 cards maybe.
Oh, he's just gonna choose to develop the double 3-drops. Kind of
Also a
hard
strong
for
play.
yeah, kind of hard for Mech Mage to deal with double 3-drops. They don't really have any AOE clears. So
Yeah, exactly.
oh, but Mech Warper.
Yeah,
That's,
Mech Warper's pretty good here. Allows him to play most of his whole hand, and he's already seen 1 flurry used, so it's pretty tempting to play most of his whole hand and then just go face. But now in the back of his mind, he's thinking possibly there's an AoE coming because my Blast Mage just got set down to 2 health. Maybe he's setting up some sort of Spell Power fan or some sort of second flurry.
Well, I mean, at the same time, SI was always going to hit the Blast Mage no matter what. There's no reason to push for 2 extra damage on the face where it's just not going to affect the board.
Yeah, definitely, but I don't know. I would be concerned of some sort of AoE.
Yeah, but your opponent used a flurry already, so worst that can happen is what? Spell Power fan?
Yeah,
I
Frid's
guess
gonna
Frid is
play around the
concerned.
AoE here.
Yeah.
He's concerned about it. It definitely shows up like the purple is hinting at an AoE by the line he took.
Yeah.
And he has no AoE in his hand, and Frid is gonna play around AoE. Is he gonna trade here though with the 5/2 is the real question. So he already played around AoE by playing the Ezra Drake instead of playing his entire hand. So I think that justifies that he doesn't need to trade. If he would have played all of the mechs in his hand, then he would have been forced to trade. So I like this line by Frid here. Because they had Mystic drawing. There's a Mirror Entity in the hand. Could be extremely powerful for Purpledrank.
Yeah, that could be really good. But here we go. Prep sprint. Purple's looking for some answers
He's found
here.
the SI. That is a really good answer. He found
And
the
an
Eviscerate
Eviscerate
too.
as well.
Spell Power and Mech Mage doesn't really do too much. The Ezra Drake is more or less played for the card draw. Frostbolt is going to kill any of these minions regardless of Spell Power or not. So I like just taking off the 5/2. And developing another 3/3 there. Well, if he played around AoE before, now he's got to be really scared of AoE.
Well, I mean, all this had is like super cheap. Just dump everything, you know, like automatically. You can also put a Mirror Entity. Can you? No, you can't. No, Mirror Entity costs the same as the Shredder, more or less.
Yeah.
So.
Bad news bears if he plays the Mirror Entity, because that Kazan Mystic is ready for action.
Bad news bears. No way to put it. Frostbolt takes care of one of these 3/3s.
Goes with the Farseer. Doesn't really matter which one he kills.
No,
Those are
Panda?
3/3s.
Panda Miracle Rogue?
Yeah, maybe. Looks like he's gonna hold back on the Mech Warper, and the entity is gonna come out.
Looks like it's bad news bears, according to Fire Bat.
Yeah, that is not good for Frid.
Right, you're gonna see some bears.
Purpledrank fortunately has his Kazan Mystic for the
Look
situation.
at Frid. Look at Frid smile.
And the Eviscerate gonna go down. Dagger's gonna be able to pop the bubble, and he's gonna be able to connect for another 3 after clearing the board. Wow. Frid has the Clockwork Gnome to get rid of the Mirror Entities. That's fortunate for him, but there's so much pressure on the board, so much damage coming in, and Purpledrank has the Oil Rogue, he has the Flurry, so he's well equipped to get in there.
And win the game.
Yeah.
There's actually no way for Frid to come back here. Wow.
Well, Frid had a really good
great.
start, too. He kept his entire hand off the mulligan. So, but Purpledrank obviously must have teched this deck out to do well against the Mech Mage with the Kazan Mystic and such.
Get off.
Yeah, he just happened to have that flurry for turn 3, so he got really lucky with that. So
Yeah, I mean, not only has the tech worked, the blade flurry at turn 3 was it? It actually cleared the board, and that was so important.
yeah,
So-
if the Blade Flurry if he didn't have the Blade Flurry to clear the board there, then Frid's start would have just snowballed to a ridiculous amount.
Right.
So
Oh, that was a pretty convincing win from Purple, defeating the Mech Mage that so many people have seen me struggle with. But Rogue is, once again, not that bad against Mech Mage. You just need very specific cards early on, and there are a lot of choices with backstabs and whatnot. So now Purpledrank has to move on to the Mage or the Warrior.
yeah, definitely. He's got the Freeze Mage, which is typically a favorite against Mech Mage, and he's got his Doomsayer Warrior, which we can only assume the Doomsayer tech and the Zombie Chow tech is designed to help against Mech Mage as well. So it looks like he's trying to bully out the Mech Mage here. See what Frid chooses to pick. Frid will probably go with Druid. It just seems like taking a free win here is fine. And if I was Purpledrank, I would go with Mage for sure.
Oh wow, it's gonna be the it's gonna be the Mech Mage against Freeze Mage, and I think purple once again has a better end of the stick here. And with Sylvanas from Frid, it just makes it so that the Doomsayers can be more easily activated, right?
Yeah, if you could Doomsayer and then Fireball the Sylvanas to force the Doomsayer to be activated.
So start is pretty good. One of the ways to win.
Yeah, Frid doesn't have a bad hand. There's a high percent chance he top decks a 2-drop, as most of Mech Mage is 2-drops. So that Cogmaster on turn 1, even though you have no 2-drop in the hand, is definitely not bad. And there we see the top Mech 2-drop.
There you go. We have a fortune teller in the house.
Looks like Purpledrank might be forced to Frostbolt here. Just take off that Mech Warper.
Well, more or less, you just need one Frostbolt, right, to activate the Ice Lances. So using the first one, usually you just do it. It's okay.
In this matchup, you don't really need the Ice Lances for too much burst. You just need to sort of not die. Because if you can get to the point to play Alexstrasza is going to connect with the face because you're going to be clearing their board and such. But, yeah, Arcane Intellect coming down. More burn for purple. That's not what he wants. He does not want all these Fireballs and Frostbolts at this point in the game. The Shredder coming down. Just a perfect curve from Frid, putting out a lot of aggression.
Oh man, down to 18 already for Purpledrank. Another Frost Nova. Frost Nova effectively heals for 10 right now. And if you use it later, well, it's going to heal for more. But, man, he is pretty close to dying here. The Frostbolt and Fireball from Frid's hand is actually really, really helpful.
Yeah, definitely. It looks like he is going to go with Fireball.
Throw away one of these burn spells. Just don't die.
Yeah, just don't die. Alex and Antonidas are going to be able to carry you in the late game as long as you don't die. And he's got Kazan Mystic for Mirror Entity later, too.
Yeah, Frid's not stopping, though. Another Spider Tank jumps off the field. And Purpledrank's now down to 10.
Yeah, that is really low. Wow. So much aggression. Though he has 24 points of heal in his hand. Looks like he's going to coin out the Ice Barrier here. Using the coin, not the greatest position to be using the coin. The coin can be really powerful for getting Alex out a turn earlier, for generating a Fireball with Antonidas. All sorts of plays.
So here, Frid is looking to pop the block in 2 turns. So you have to pretty much use one of these. You could also like ping, but you also want to get the Freeze Mage down to like 1 health, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing a Fireball ping and then just trying to pop him. Like, it's not even block, it's barrier right now, so Frid has enough damage in hand to kill his opponent.
Wow.
So he can set up lethal for next turn where Purpledrank can't actually stop it if he Fireball pings face, but he's got to be weary of it being Ice Block instead. But if he Fireball pings place, I don't think there's any way Purple can not die besides drawing Ice Block off the top. And that looks like that's the line he's going to take.
Well, yeah, even Anti-Healbot's not going to save him because the board is more than Ice Barrier.
Wow, yeah, Mech Mage can sometimes get these just aggressive starts, and when you don't have very good hand as the Freeze Mage, you can get blown out.
Yeah. So what does Purple need to do exactly here?
Looks like he's healbotting. Yeah, right. Healbotting is good here because now he can't pop him without using minions.
Oh yeah. Because
if he attacks with the minions, it's going to give him another 8 health, so he actually stays alive just fine this way.
Okay. Gain 8 health here.
So he's still living on the edge.
That is true, but do you kill the Anti-Healbot here if you're Frid? Because if not, your whole board is going to get frozen, right?
Yeah, I think you value the face damage a lot more than killing the Anti-Healbot, but
right.
I mean, it's up in the air, I guess.
I guess, no, it pops your Shredder, and then whatever comes out is going to get frozen.
Yeah. 3 damage is a lot at this point. I'd like to see him just hit the face, ping the face, just commit to killing him before Alexstrasza can even be played.
Yeah, that's a quarter damage on the face, so it is quite a bit.
It's a lot of your opponent's remaining health. It just gets taken out, and it sets up Fireball for lethal. Other things like that, even if you get frozen.
But it doesn't do it. And Ice Block is picked up for Purple, so that's a That's a sigh of relief.
Yeah, not a bad draw. So you can potentially Frost Nova Ice Block. I wouldn't like to see that play, though. I'd like to save the Frost Nova for a potential Lotheb turn. Maybe just Blizzard this turn. Stall that way.
Blizzard works pretty well, and of course it's very expensive, so it's really hard to use correctly.
Yeah, exactly. Frost Nova is more flexible. At a later point in the game, you could Frost Nova Doomsayer and play a secret, or you can Frost Nova when they play Lotheb. So just a more useful card. And plus, sometimes Blizzard pops Death Rattles, which allows your opponent to still have damage on the board. So Frost Nova can never pop a Death Rattle and can never cause them to gain damage that way. Because if a minion dies from the Blizzard, it's not frozen if it has a Death Rattle.
Well, what other things are you thinking about here? Would you want to set up some secrets right now before they lose out on their purpose? No.
Yeah,
So
there's
Blizzard
potential.
is...
If you feel safe enough of gaining 8 life, you could have just set up a secret there.
Oh, the Sylvanas. Oh man, playing Sylvanas against a freeze mage just never feels good. You can always just kill your Sylvanas after playing as Doomsayer. You steal the Doomsayer, and yeah, you become really sad because you never want to play a Doomsayer if you're playing Mech Mage.
Yeah, so the Doomsayer would go off on your turn too, so your minions would die on your turns, and your Death Rattles wouldn't be able to attack unless they were Death Rattles with charge.
Well, but it's still a minion, right?
It's still a minion, you still gotta apply pressure. But if Purpledrank's able to get a Doomsayer here, you could potentially Doomsayer Fireball, and then the Shredders would pop from the Doomsayer, but they wouldn't be able to attack.
Right, because they die on your turn, technically speaking.
Yeah.
And now, yep, Sylvanas is gonna have to come down here. You just need more board, and Flame Strike not actually gonna do much.
Yeah, not at all. So he's gonna have to ping the Shredder and then Frost Nova.
Right,
And
let's see
set
what's
up
all
the
the
secret.
here. Oh!
House Mana Storm. It still dies to Flame Strike, so you're not that upset.
Not quite. And Ice Block is going to be setting down here to prevent the Fireball, Frostbolt, Ping, Lethal. Very nice.
Snow Chugga John doesn't really do much.
None of
The
these-
Freeze Mage is so close to stabilizing, just not quite there yet.
Very close, very close. Frid should be expecting an AoE here, but he kind of wants to spare part, I guess.
Do you play Mirror Entity as Frid here? Because you've seen ample opportunities for your opponent to play Doomsayer. Oh, guess definitely not.
No.
Yeah, I would have definitely thought about playing it though, because you have to think it's their turn 9. They're trying to set up Alexstrasza.
Oh my god!
Haunted
That's
Creeper.
Not good.
Yeah, that doesn't die to
That's
Flame Strike at
terrible.
all.
Wow. One of the best drops. I mean, the other good drop was what? The mini bot, the shielded mini bot, because it survives.
This is
This
gonna
is
allow
insane.
the Doomsayer Fireball is gonna go off here, and if Frid has a Fireball, Frid can pop the block with the Fireball now because of the Haunted Creeper.
Right. And
Frid
yep,
is-
that's what happens when you play Sylvanas.
Yeah,
against
almost
Freeze
any
Mage.
other 2-drop though, besides shielded Minibot.
Oh no,
and,
no, it doesn't attack. They can't attack. They're
Oh,
sleeping.
they can't attack. Yeah.
Yeah,
Never mind.
yeah,
So it's fine.
Fireball doesn't block it. Yeah.
Yeah, good. But this Blast Mage to the face is gonna hurt. Blast Mage
4
to the face,
damage.
ping face is gonna be able to set up to pop the block on the next turn.
Oh man. Well, Purple needs to find Alexstrasza and soon. Oh
Yeah.
man, Purple is getting very emotional.
Yeah, he's not happy about that one. So
There's a lot of
definitely
things
just
going-
ping the face this turn. Maybe think about time rewinding the Blast Mage, but I wouldn't like time rewinding it. I like just having it on the board. You can pop the block next turn. Oh, now he's gonna time rewinder it.
Let's do it. I mean, it's more damage to the face, right? It's effectively a frostbolt.
Sure.
And Antonitis, not really that good.
No, Antonitis is good here, I think.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, you need to
Is it
set up a
fair?
threat. I wouldn't feel bad just Antonitis and,
Whoa.
like, you have the block. You know, you have to assume the block's getting popped, but I wouldn't feel bad just Antonitis and then Frostbolting the 2/3, because you know any direct damage out of hand is going to pop you anyway. A Frostbolt Fireball doesn't matter because you're at 4 health. So actually dealing with or freezing the 1/1s doesn't really accomplish anything because you get popped the same exact way either way. So I like just establishing the Antonitis and begin sort of getting any sort of threat on the table, because you know you're going to have to Alexstrasza yourself this game. So when you do draw Alexstrasza, you're going to have to Alexstrasza yourself, not your opponent. So that Antonitis generating tons of fireballs is going to be necessary for you to end the game.
Well, very clutch moment here. Ice Bear is going to come down with a Frostbolt, actually.
Yeah.
And yeah, Purpledrank just thinks that, oh, my opponent doesn't have a burn. So, but then you did see the Blast Mage, so I'm not really sure about that.
Yeah, I'm not that much of a fan of this play because
Oh my god, Lothep to seal it out as well. I think
yeah.
Purpledrank needs exactly Alex Stroud to stay alive here.
Yeah, exactly. Extraza needs to be drawn. But yeah, I mean the Ice Barrier. Maybe there's some charge he's playing around, but it doesn't really protect you from much. So, and no Alex Strauss is drawn.
Anti-heal bot is already used. I think that's it.
Yeah, that's the game. The heal bot's gone as well. Either line would have lost for him. He's one draw off the ice block.
No.
Oh wait, no, he didn't play Lotheb this time.
Yeah, he didn't play Lotheb.
Yeah, he couldn't play Lotheb because he had to ping.
No. Frostbolt ping is only 4 mana. He could have played the Lotheb.
Oh, why didn't he play the Lotheb?
I don't know.
Alright, Purple.
Exactly 1 card, and no. Oh wait,
no,
one more chance.
He can just trade with the spider and possibly get Alex Strasser.
Is it Purpledrank's day? And oh no.
No Alex Strasser. Yeah, it's that slight misplay there by Frid. He could have locked him out of the ice block stall, giving him less chances to get this Alex Strasser.
Give your opponent a few more cards, and no, Alex Strasser's just not found. And that is GG. Frid takes 1 game off of Purpledrank. It's tied.
I wonder why he didn't want to play that Lotheb there.
Does he think that after Alex Strasser he wants to Lotheb instead and pop the block and something like that? Maybe.
Maybe some sort of line like that, but gives your opponent the second block as an out, which is kind of sketchy.
Well, yeah, Purpledrank still needs to win with his Freeze Mage, and Freeze Mage against Druid. Well, I mean it's okay, but Druids usually are able to do really well against it, just because you know they have all the necessary tools of chargers and combos and whatnot. And any deck that's Lotheb has a chance against Freeze Mage, right?
Yeah, definitely. Any deck that has Lotheb has a pretty solid chance. It's really going to come down to how well the Freeze Mage does against the aggro Paladin, because the Druid is definitely favored against the Freeze Mage, but we have seen Freeze Mage win against Druid in this tournament.
Nope, not ever. So let's see if Purpledrank is the first to do it. His hand looking pretty bad right now, but
hey, he did it 2 days ago.
Oh, so he did?
It can be done. Yeah.
Oh,
did it in group stages.
Okay.
So, but still, definitely, it's a hard matchup to win.
Look at Frid's face. He saw Sylvanas and he was like, "Oh, here we go again."
Emperor Thorson, not a bad pickup though. He's gonna be able to wild growth into Shredder into Coin Emperor Thorson. Purpledrank doesn't have a bad hand either, though. He's already got Alex Strasser and he has Acolyte of Pain, which is one of the key cards. Because it can force your opponent to spend a lot of their damage killing it, or it can gain you a lot of cards. It's like an Arcane Intellect that also has board presence. So it's really key in the early game. And he's thinking about whether he wants to play it with this hand or if he wants to save it for value. Yeah, I like just playing it on turn 3 against a Druid. If they wrath it, then they're not developing anything, and you feel really good about that.
Okay. Oh, Shadow's gonna come down here. Turn 4. That's pretty much what you expect. Back over to purple. Yeah. Not much except for draw a card.
Yeah, he's got a few lines. He can either use the Frostbolt or the Doomsayer while drawing a card. Potentially try and slow down your opponent. The earlier you get the Doomsayer out, the less chance your opponent has of something that can stop it. And since Druid runs 2 Keeper the Groves, generally you want to get it out as soon as possible. So it's not that bad. But even if it goes off, then it's denying your Acolyte card draw if you don't run in your Acolyte. So it's kind of sketchy. And there's also potential for Frostbolt. So he's going to run in the Doomsayer, and he's not trading in the Acolyte for the extra card there. So he's expecting his Doomsayer to get answered then, and that Druid Claw is one of the answers to it.
That's true. I mean, even if the Druid Claw wasn't drawn, I mean, Frid could possibly just coin Force of Nature, although that's not the best. That is one of the answers. But Druid Claw, much better. You could establish something while dealing with the minion.
Yeah. Even though you're developing board, though, you don't feel good about this, because that Doomsayer just acts basically as a third Ice Barrier there. Just gained Purpledrank 8 health. And also allowed him to get another draw off this Acolyte.
Yeah, time is
up. Now he's able to get the full value out of the Acolyte.
Oh, and another one too.
Yeah.
That one's gonna work with Frost Nova really well.
Definitely.
Swipe.
And here comes the Emperor.
Wow, everything's super cheap.
I believe Frid's gonna go face with just all this damage.
Yeah, there's no reason to, draw your opponent's cards for them. They're probably gonna run it in.
Yeah, exactly. Barrier drawn for purple. Doesn't really do much. He's gonna get his secret up.
And Flame Strike, pretty good.
That's not a bad one. Scientist for Frid doesn't help too much.
Nope, not at all. So what to do this turn? I guess you just set up Ice Barrier, unless it's not an Ice Barrier. Can we have a mouse over with what the secret is? Because we can't really tell from the spectator mode, right? Usually when we were...
Oh, it is Ice Barrier. That's fortunate for him. You want to get your barriers out as early as possible. That's why he didn't really play a barrier that turn. He triggered the Scientist first, because you don't want to get block off the Scientist. You want block to be the last secret you play.
Right. Oh, but have we ever seen this combo before, Firebat? Have we seen Force of Nature into Savage Roar?
Wow,
Yep,
that is it's a devastating combo. It requires a lot of board space, though. So
yeah, it does.
If your board is frozen out there, then it's gonna disallow for that combo to even happen.
Well, the Emperor's gonna survive even one more turn, right?
Yeah, the cards are getting cheaper and cheaper and cheaper.
Oh my lord.
This is gonna be a very effective combo.
Flame Strike does not kill Emperor once again.
Yeah, Emperor lives. Still, it's what he's gonna have to do. He wants to save the Blizzard to be able to Blizzard Doomsayer. So he doesn't want a Blizzard to then set up his Flame Strike.
Oh, why not draw more cards so they get even more cheaper?
Yeah, wow. All he needs to do is find a Roar at this point, and then he's gonna be able to do a ridiculous combo and kill purple.
It's pretty ridiculous.
It's looking very, very fortunate for Frid here.
You cut like one mana swipes as well.
Yeah, it's a lot of damage coming out of Frid's hand, where purple's hand seems a lot slower.
Oh wow, yeah. Let's save the Emperor because it's doing so well. He let up before.
Not a bad plan. 0 mana big game hunter now.
Oh, here's the Emperor for purple.
Purpledrank draws his Emperor. Probably gonna be a Blizzard Doomsayer play, set up for an empty board Alex. Not drawing might actually cost him because he doesn't have a keeper. But he has plenty of ways to remove this. So he's going to be able to remove the Doomsayer for sure.
Mm-hmm. And guess what? Emperor Pross one more time.
Yeah. So much inexpensive cards that he can even develop while dealing with this Doomsayer. And that's crazy. You can use a Force of Nature on it and swipe the face. You can double swipe it and play a Piloted Shredder. You can Force of Nature, swipe the face, play a Piloted Shredder.
Oh, man.
Frid has a lot of options.
I guess the world is yours.
Yeah. He can even squeeze in a Hero Power if he wants to.
Yeah. Force of Nature, Hero Power, and then Shredder. I think that's a pretty good play.
Yeah. He gets to save the swipes, and he gets to start stacking that armor, which Alexstrasza sets the life to 15 and doesn't affect the armor, so definitely worthwhile to have. It looks like he's going to go for the swipe instead.
Going a little bit more YOLO.
Prioritizing getting that damage on the face, trying to set up lethal for next turn.
Yeah, no coin Hero Power as well.
Yeah.
Now we're looking at a 2 mana Force of Nature, 2 mana Sylvanas. Oh boy.
Yeah, Purpledrank doesn't really have too many options here. He has to sort of full YOLO because his opponent has so many inexpensive cards. And the second Ancient Allure is drawn, that is exactly what Frid was looking for.
Actually, Frid just wins right now. Because...
Wait, oh, he doesn't have a block up?
Yeah, exactly, right? I know, right?
Oh, that was really YOLO to go in with no ice block then. I thought he had an ice block up.
Like, here's the thing. Like, you always expect Freeze Mages to have a nice block, but...
Yeah, no ice block there is... This is definitely a questionable play to go in with the Alex with no ice block. I don't like that at all, but...
Well, I mean, he didn't have any other options, right? If you looked at his hand. It was like Fireball, Ice Barrier, Alexstrasza, Antonitis. There weren't any freezes, AoEs, so... That Emperor! Doing pretty good work. It's pretty good card, guys. Make sure you buy BRM if you haven't yet.
Yeah, that card is busted.
Yeah.
It was strong enough when I thought the card, like, it's still the best card in the set, but I thought the effect only happened once.
Yeah, me too.
The effect keeps happening every turn. Like
at the end of every turn. Jeez.
It might be too much. It might be too much. A 5/5 is already a tough body to deal with, and then a persistent effect like that is just ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean the Shield Maiden is played for its body too, and the 6 mana 5/5 is actually really good. The balance from for attack and health is like perfect.
All right, we're gonna see how well the aggro paladin matches up against the freeze mage. We see Hammer of Wrath. That is an interesting card.
Yeah.
I guess it's sort of like a quick shot. Hits him in the
Uh,
face, draws a card, and allows you to hit him in the face again.
yeah, you can actually look at it like that.
Equality drawn. That's gonna help to deal with this Doomsayer. So that's actually not a bad pickup for Frid. What are we
I
gonna see?
just thought of a joke. Fire bet.
What's the joke?
How good is Hammer of Wrath? How HOW Hammer of Wrath? You get it?
That's a terrible joke.
Oh.
I mean, it's not my style of joke.
Oh.
I'm sorry. All right. Anyway,
Well,
Doomsayer is gonna come down and likely to be met with equality, so that Frid can
there's not
continue
a lot
board
of quality
development.
targets, that's for sure, against Freeze.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So
so
I
it
would
might
just equality and then play an Argent Squire.
get the
And
juggle. 3 damage to the face. Don't get the juggle and get 1 damage to the face.
this isn't that bad for Purpledrank though. He is able now to just ping off the Knife Juggler.
Oh, 1 damage.
Wow, only 1 damage to the face with that play, and now the Knife Juggler is going to get pinged off.
Whoops.
Unfortunately for him, Blessing of Might's going to come down on the Argent Squire, which is really powerful. It's going to be a lot of damage, and the Divine Favor is drawn. That is huge.
That is really sweet.
Blessing of Might for sure, into draw all of the cards.
Draw all of the cards indeed. Oh, Purpledrank's like, yep.
Yeah,
that happened.
This is not something he wanted to see.
Another blessing is going to be drawn here. Lepronome is really strong. Oh yeah, the Sea Giant tech. I remember that one.
Knife Juggler muster for battle into Sea Giant.
That's a funny one.
And he's going to set up Thalanos to try and be able to trade with the Argent Squire, but it's going to be met by Knife Juggler Unleash the Dudes.
Unleash the Dudes indeed. A second equality as well. As if the first one wasn't enough. Now Doomsayer is not going to do anything. Wow, this is looking pretty bad for purple, but looking amazing for Frid.
Yeah, much aggression. Purple, however, does have the coin Blizzard, which is going to be able to deal with this board quite effectively. And then Frid is looking sort of slim on the reload here. The Sea Giant not going to be able to do much, and only a single Lepronome and a Hero Power able to be played next turn after the board gets cleared here. And the Freeze Mage, although he's low, he's still at 18, which is a respectable health total for a Freeze Mage, considering you run 2 barriers and a anti-Killbot. Yeah.
Exactly.
Anti-Killbot definitely going to be a card that's going to help out this matchup a lot, I assume.
Oh, wow. Going with the Acolyte of Pain and the Frost Nova instead. Gonna try and squeeze in some more draws of the Acolyte before using the Blizzard.
Yeah, is Frid running Lothab? Because that could really punish this line if Frid is running Lothab.
Right.
But the Sea Giant's going to be able to come down too.
Yep, Sea Giant's gonna come down, but is it equality Sea Giant time?
No, I don't think there's any reason to equality, just an Acolyte.
Why?
So you're going to Sea Giant first.
Whoa.
He could squeeze out a Lepronome, I guess, if he wanted.
Yeah, Lepronome.
Actually, does it fill up the board completely?
No. You can Lepronome and then Sea Giant. But then you can't play anything else.
Yeah, you can't play anything else, so there's no reason. Doesn't really matter.
Well, I mean, usually you want the Lepronomes to be played after your opponent's down to like very low health, like 2 or 1 health, right? And then they can't AoE your board, because otherwise they die.
Huh.
Wow, daggers don't hit at all. Wow, Acolyte's not gonna get anything.
That's really unfortunate for Purpledrank here. You can still run it in for 1 card draw and then Blizzard. And it looks like that's what he's gonna do. And 13 is looking pretty low.
Oh, Deckhand's gonna do some crazy damage with the Blessing of Might and the Abusive. Oh, the aggression doesn't stop.
Wow, that is a lot of damage. You can even squeeze in the Hammer. Or the Consecrate, maybe, to get rid of the Acolyte.
Oh,
but Hammer is only 2 damage off lethal.
It's Hammer time.
Consecration gonna clear the Acolyte here. And he's setting up for Hammer of Wrath to kill him through barrier.
Oh man, Purpledrank needs some help here. Pyroblast is not a card that can do it. Well,
Yeah, I think he's gonna feel safe behind this barrier, and it's not gonna be enough to do it. You
It's
can't
just
expect the
hammer
hammer
down.
wrath. Yeah.
Oh man, getting a hammer to the dome.
Yeah, he's not gonna play around hammer wrath, I don't think. Yeah, he's
I
just
mean,
dropping the barrier.
I
And how
feel
could
pretty
you play
safe.
around hammer wrath? Like,
There's no way. Uh,
well, this play also doesn't play around avenging wrath. But the only way you could play around those cards would maybe be like mad scientist, fireball your own mad scientist, and that only just delays the game for a turn. And plus, it only has 50% chance to even get the block to play around it.
well, it seems like this paladin has done it again.
Yeah.
Hollis for doing it. Should have just played paladin in the last series and just won the game.
I can't imagine that this is too favored of a matchup for the paladin. But double hammer wrath drawn here.
Oh, Frid is
Wow.
praying. Frid is praying. And he gets it. Oh, boom, 0. He's so, look at that. Oh, he's so happy about himself. Wow, and Frid takes the series with his very, very special aggro paladin. Congratulations to him. He's going to go back to the grand finals once again to face against Tom.
Muzzy.
Sorry, Muzzy, yeah, and
Yeah.
try to get, revenge, hopefully. But Purpledrank did pretty well as well. He went to third place for his first mini tournament. Nothing bad really. It's a pretty good result, right?
Yeah, it's not too bad.
That's it.
What?
Yeah, it's pretty good for the first tournament showing, right? And of course, Purpledrank is pretty good. I guess in a tournament setting, you do get quite a bit nervous. We've seen that he did quite a few, things that might be rushed a little bit. Especially, I think the first day he killed a 2-3 that wasn't the mech warper, like a normal 2-3 instead. So maybe if he takes more time with displays, then he'll do well. But it's his first tournament. What can you do? He's gonna exit the Pinnacle 4 in third place, $750. Not so bad. And of course, Frid and Muzzy is going to play out, duke it up again in the grand finals. Frid needs to win 2 series, 2 best of 5s to actually overcome Muzzy. So we'll be right back, guys. And you don't want to miss the grand finals between Muzzy and
Frid.
yeah, Frid.
I thought it.